Hi, welcome back. So, in the previous videos, we have discussed about the relevance of sociology in your selection, the trend of sociology, how far it is helpful in your success journey. After that, I have also created a video associated with the selected candidates and Animesh Pradhan, All India second rankees mark sheet, and how sociology is helpful in selection. I have also discussed about relevance of sociology related to your journey in terms of essay, general studies and interview. Please do watch those videos to get greater clarity associated with your preparation. In this video, we'll be discussing about some thought-provoking questions which have been asked in sociology. And if those questions engage your attention, if you really feel that, oh yes, these are the questions I really want to study about, I want to know the answers, I really want to explore more about them, then this is the solution with respect to knowing the discipline. This discipline is really going to terrifically, nurture your inside out understanding of the Indian society as well as the world, giving greater understanding towards diversity, strengthening the possibility of syncretism, and also how human evolution has taken place as a society on the whole and as different societies specific to locations, culture. Okay, so the world as a society and societies pertaining to countries, societies pertaining to regions, ethnicities, right? Okay, so we all can see that these are the list of questions, though there can be many, but I just chose 5 questions. 5 questions which can really strengthen your journey so far. So, when we are noticing these questions, questions can be seen sociology, one theoretical, which is really easy. Suppose there is the topic related to Karl Marx or like let's say Emil Durkheim or any other thinker, Indian thinker, if I'm saying M.N. Srinivas. And there can be a question directly asking about the theory that they have given, which is very direct. That is what I imply by saying theoretical questions. Theoretical questions are easy to handle, though now UPSC is asking those questions relatively less in number. Even if a question is theoretical, they'll make it more applied and relevant to the present times. I'll discuss that with respect to few sociology related questions, the previous year questions when you are a part of the course. Right now, getting in that detail may scare you because you don't know the syllabus, you don't know the topics until unless you have a sociology background in graduation and post graduation. So I will be getting into those like exhaustive theoretical questions when I have taught the chapter, and then I'm telling you how to decode the insights pertaining to a previous year question, which is theoretical, and how the topic, the theory that has been taught, it is relevant to it. Okay, is there a lot of theory? Well, I'll just say one thing, that theory is arrived at when we have done some scientific research, when we have done a lot of ground level insights like collection of information, because all of you, I mean, must be understanding till standard 10th level science, right? So how do we arrive at a theory? First we have a hypothesis, we do the testing of the hypothesis, the hypothetical statement. When it is well tested with all the data that is collected, then it establishes thesis. When thesis gets proved over the time period across regions, across places, then it becomes a theory, right? When a theory gets proved universally across time, place, right, then it becomes a law. Because we are talking about human behavior, which is quite dynamic, ever changing, ever evolving. That's why, with respect to human behavior, we can only make theory, but not a law. Because with the passage of changing times, the behavior may change, the responses may change. Okay, so theory, not quite a lot, but yes, a basic understanding of a theory related to almost every chapter, but not in paper 2. Indian segment, when we are talking about population or topics of urbanization, theory has been removed from the syllabus. But yes, in general, you get exposed to theory when you are talking about thinkers. Now, getting back to the question, because the word theoretical, I just explained it so that no one feels, oh, theoretical, which question is so theoretical? Okay, so the questions which I have taken up is evergreen reflective and current issues related. When I say evergreen reflective, what do I mean? I mean to say that the question could have been asked 10 years back also, 5 years back also, and it can be asked 5 years later also. The relevance of it will not fade. So these are the questions which can nurture the content also for GS, and they can also get repeated. Okay, there's no like ruling out of the fact that it cannot be repeated. So let us see what they are. First and foremost, you can see, how is poverty a form of social exclusion? Okay, I hope it is visible. So how is poverty a form of social exclusion? Illustrate in this connection the different dimensions of poverty and social exclusion. Now, those students who have studied GS paper 1, Indian society, right? Poverty and developmental issues. In paper 2, you have social justice, GS paper 2, right? There is poverty and hunger. So here, with respect to GS paper 1, Indian society, when we have the component of poverty and developmental issues, it gets directly connected. And we all have seen that UPSC is quite fluid. The concern of one paper can be asked in the second. So this question, we cannot rule out that it can never be asked in paper 2, because you have polity, you have vulnerable sections in social justice. So this question is very much possible, potentially possible in paper 2 as well. So this is something. And I think you're reading it, you're like, it's doable, right? And you can see why it is evergreen reflective, because this can be asked 5 years later also, and this could have been asked 5 years back as well. See this one. In the light of judicial intervention on live-in relationships, discuss the future of marriage and family in India, 2019. Live-in relationships. Just last year, Uttarakhand government passed a very controversial I would say, approach towards live-in relationships with respect to Uniform Civil Code. Whether it is right or wrong, I won't talk about it. Okay, you please don't guess about it, because in scientific precision, which is maintained in sociology, we say never guess. Always see the facts and then theorize. Okay. So when you listen to me on the issue of live-in relationship and the issue of Uniform Civil Code, you will get a clearer idea. If you're more curious, last month, in the month of May, 11th of May, Economic and Political Weekly had published a brilliant article related to cohabitation relationships and how they should be legitimized, how they should be legally recognized. It's a very brilliant article and well-researched article, and it gives a lot of food for thought for GS as well. Live-in relationships have been quite controversial, especially in the recent few years, in the wake of violence against women especially, whereby they have been butchered, murdered, killed by their live-in partners. A lot of people question, why to go ahead for a live-in? And whether live-in is relevant or not. Some people question it from the cultural perspective as well. Yes, such relations are discussed in the chapter of family, marriage, kinship. Not only it is relevant from sociology point of view, but in GS paper 1, when you have salient features of Indian society, and one of the core topics related to salient features of Indian society is family, marriage and kinship. Okay, because family and the family bonds, the kinship bonds, giving importance to the institution of marriage is a salient feature of Indian society. So we cannot rule out, such questions cannot be asked in GS, because previous year questions, if you actually flip related to general studies, you'll find questions asked on joint family system as well. Okay, so this is a question which I would like to say related to live-in relationships and how it is associated with the future of marriage and family in India. This concern is something which was asked in 2019, can be asked in 2024, can be asked in 2028. Okay, so this is an evergreen reflective question. Then see this. How is civil society useful in deepening the roots of democracy? Right? You will be feeling, oh my God, if I understand the answer in sociology, it also gives me food for thought with respect to polity and governance, isn't it? See this one. Analyze the role of market and modern forces in understanding the changing trends in marriage system in India. Again, you can see 2023 question. Marriage trends in India, market system, how market is changing the marriage trends in terms of dowry, in terms of gifts that are given. And recently the Ambanis have pushed the bar way, way, way above, right? And so much has happened. So a lot of reflective understanding, a lot of current affairs, a lot of observation that we have in the society, a lot of insights coming from thinkers, all of it is consolidated and taught when we are reflecting upon such topics. Simultaneously, you can see, how do you understand the minority question? Examine the violence and discrimination against the religious minorities in India, right? So you might feel, oh, if someone else would have asked this question, you would have, oh, that's such a political question. No, not really. An apolitical attitude with respect to such a question, fact as fact. What are the facts? What is the NCRB data? Okay, supported with respect to a critical reflection, a comparative understanding from the past to the present, the understanding and insight developed with respect to changing trends, globalization, shaping those possibilities, all of it needs to be consolidated here together. So when we are saying this given possibility associated with how do you understand the minority question? Okay, examine the violence and discrimination against the religious minorities in India. This is how you develop an insight associated with it. Furthermore, you can see how does the new education policy 2020 aim to eradicate the disparities in the system of education in India? Now, this question asked in 2020, that very year, the new education policy was passed and it was asked. Similarly, we can see that hashtag #MeToo movement, the year it was in news, it was asked. So a lot of current affairs questions are also asked when we talk about it, and those, like we can say, current issues, when they are covered in sociology, it helps you to prepare those topics for GS as well. All right. So I hope this content and this critical reflection, this like exposure to sociology previous year questions has roused curiosity. You're feeling curious to know the answers and you're looking forward to learn a lot from the lectures. So see you in the next video, whereby I will be discussing a brief overview of the syllabus, what the syllabus is all about and how we are going to cover it in how many lectures. Thank you so much. Take care.